Hello, welcome to No Inches DIY. Other day, it's in Aldi. Sorry I didn't make a video earlier, but this is the Ferrex Planer 900 watt. Now let me get it out of the box with my Aldi knife. We have some kind of, obviously the tools to set it up, Allen key, little spanner, and some hand wheels and some kind of spacer. Dust bag, very handy, or it'd be more like a chip bag for this. Here's the planer, nice Ferrex colour scheme. It's got a fin in here so you can direct the chips to come out whatever side you need them to come out of. Now, because this has got motor down both sides, that might make it hard to get into corners. So it looks like a nice little unit. It's obviously got its instructions and warranty in the box. I will be taking this outside later in the day to have a play with it. With these planes, you really don't set the depth of the blade, that stays constant. But what you do set is the depth of this piece at the front. And what's it currently set onto? 0 millimeters. So if I was to take a 1 millimeter cut, oh, that's half a mil there. All that means is that that flat surface there is half a mil lower than the blade and this back surface. I have now got out the Aldi Ferrex Planer 900 watts. Now you saw that I had that down on the steel bench, sitting flat. This is what this thing here on the back's for. So you can sit it there and the blade won't come in contact with the surface. I don't know how much I trust it. It has a dust collector that you can swap sides with, because this sticks right out the side, so that would be awkward. Say for example I was working on that, I'd have to swap it over. Now hopefully there's no pieces of swarf stuck in there. I have checked it. Let's have a go. Seems to work quite well on the pine. Now when I went off the edge then, I did dip the front and it made a bit of a spoon drain there. So just be careful of that, keeping it flat. Now I have the depth of cut here set to 1/2 mil and it's leaving about 1/2 mil step. So that's exactly what it should do. Yep, that has made a pretty ordinary bit of glut into a nice piece of timber. If you buy something and you live in WA, you probably want it to do jarrah. So here's an old gnarly piece of jarrah. I've checked it for nails. Let's see how it performs on that. Yeah, cut it. Yeah, it's cleaning that up quite nicely. Now that blade depth is set to 1/2 mil. Maybe I wouldn't go too aggressive on a really hard timber like jarrah. Getting there. I think my sawdust collector is full. Let me just unplug that. Yeah, she's chock-a-block. So, because this takes off such big chunks, I'm going to go over to the compost bin and empty those out. Alright, I noticed when I opened this bag, there wasn't much jarrah in it. So, it filled up pretty quick, and that's understandable because it does take, well, it's taking 1/2 mil of material off with each pass. But I think this bag, the weave is quite, so dust could escape from that. So I will, in that regard, put my mask on, especially when working with a nasty timber like Jarrah. There's a wire inside that, and you can use that to poke the material out. So that's from just a few passes. So obviously it's taking deep cuts. It's going to fill up pretty quick. Now, it's a slight manufacturing error on here, that this hand wheel thread here does not reach the thread in here when you've got the bracket on. So a slightly longer one would solve the problem. If I really needed to use this, I would just get a longer bolt. I'm not sure I would ever need to use it though. But for interest's sake, let's see how it works. Works pretty well actually. Got a nice, quite a step there, couple of millimeters already in a few passes. So I would have to say, if I ever needed a little step like this in my timber, this guide thing is quite useful. People use these for chamfering. Let's see how that works. There you go, it doesn't work with that on that side, so we swap that. You remember to swap that. I think that's right. So I start here. That's taken quite a big chamfer because I've got this cut depth set to 1 millimeter. I'll go in the biggest hole this time. Alright, so that cuts I would say a perfect chamfer. Now this little foot here, what it does I don't know. I think it's the opposite of this, but I will check the instructions. So this little foot with the depth on it goes on the side here. Once again another hand wheel. That hand wheel just reaches it. So this is a little bit thinner than the other one. So if I was cutting a rebate and I wanted it to be 10 millimeters deep, I've made a lot of sawdust for the compost pile. I've cleaned up these pieces of wood. The thing works brilliantly. Just checked my blades. They still look really good. Means I haven't hit anything. So that's been fun using that. I can't wait to start on my big stump coffee table project where I'll need this technology. Great product. So far, very good.